Spiritual madness is you extremely diving in the depths of deep, deep love, ecstasy of the divine energy. Whereas regular madness is subjective to the 3 lower chakras. You dive deep into the ocean of the big M&Ms, which is with the peanut that gives me a lot of allergy. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
The
I don't know
Mahamaya.
what the 3 M&Ms are.
Yeah, you have to spell that out.
See, the Mahamaya. The Mahamaya in the 3 lower chakras in the physical dimension world that is brought out by us beings. So they work out all that Mahamaya, and instead of going downward this way, how about you shoot yourself up there, diving in deeper within you. And then you, like a ping pong ball, you shoot up and down and just stay right here. That's the spiritual madness.
Lots of times people confuse the two. The outside world confuse the two. So what can we show the world that spiritual madness is really our deeper wisdom? How can we show that to the world?
Observe, acknowledge, surrender. Observe, acknowledge, surrender. These are the 3 major key practices that one should realize within themselves. To observe, acknowledge, and surrender. When you start practicing that, you can escape the regular madness and stay in the spiritual madness.
Observe what?
Observe every thought, words, action. Observe. When you observe your thoughts, then you won't rush into your thoughts to say the words out. When you observe and acknowledge your thoughts, then the acknowledgement helps you to surrender with the correct word outside so you don't get into trouble.
What are you surrendering to? Talk about surrender.
Surrendering means surrendering to the whatever situation that is presented in the outside world, to observe, acknowledge and surrender. For example, I had to surrender for the program in New York that I did not get a place at all. I have to observe that I've been doing this repeatedly, it cannot happen anymore. It's an analogy that I'm sharing what I experienced. That I needed a place. We've been trying and every place didn't work out for me because of the situation. So I observe, I acknowledge, and I say, I surrender, never mind, I do not have the fear. Let's just go with it, and we have to arrive into that place. Even if it's 4 a.m., 5 a.m., driving into the night, if it means sleeping in the car, something will shift and happen. Surrendering to at that very moment. If I never surrender, I'll keep on going and driving and still looking for a place. Only when I surrender, it will manifest. So when I surrendered, it manifested, and when the manifestation came into practice, all that I needed happened effortlessly. Place was given, everything was paid for, everything is simply magical in the spiritual madness, and it's effortless.
So simply what she's saying is, don't fight with the flow, go with the flow. Everything comes very easy, effortlessly.
Effortless.
That's what she's saying.
Those with regular madness are constantly fighting, right?
They are swimming back upward towards the high current. For example, river is flowing that way, you try to swim back up this way. You're going to lose energy, you're going to get tired. But if you were to observe, oh, it's flowing this way. How about me flowing this way? And move with the flow. When I move, it's effortless, it's just there, I can just pick up what I need. Yeah.
So what's the highest wisdom someone can find in themselves?
Not the knowledge, but the knowingness. You can have all the knowledge you want in the world, but having knowledge is one thing, but to be in the knowing is another thing. Knowing, being in the awareness, so it boils back down to the same thing. Observe, acknowledge, surrender. Saravana told me, observe, acknowledge, surrender. See where he's looking. Surrender. When you surrender, in the imperfection you will see perfection, and in the perfection is the imperfection also. So it is the dance, the balance. So these are simple words but very powerful. It tells you a very powerful message from Mahavatar Babaji, my beloved Sarvana, who shared with me yesterday. He told me, in the imperfection Adi is the perfection of the imperfection.
Okay. Do you have anything? But it seems like you talk about people being reflective when they're spiritually crazy, but it seems like there's a lot of tales in India of people that were like spiritually mad, but they weren't reflective, but they were just passionate, in a passion. They were in a different kind of...
Isn't it the crazy bhakti or devotion that they are talking about? That when I say
Right.
dive deep into the madness of...
It seems incongruous when you say that if you're spiritually mad, you're observing or in a separated, because it seems like the tales of spiritual madness in India, people are very passionate and kind of lost in something.
I'm just lost in nothingness. So what is the something? So instead of, for example, it's just like the lotus flower and the leaf around the water, but the water touches and yet not touches is above. You can see the separation as a beautiful thin line that you or I cannot see. That is what I call the energy of void within the gap between the lotus and that water that you or I cannot see, but we can feel the separation. The separation, that's why again, it's not about the knowledge, it is in the knowingness that you are seeing all this madness that you're talking about. It's a great spiritual craziness or whatever. You guys are calling it a spiritual craziness. Let's just say, it's just me being a super extraordinary being. It's not only me, everybody is an extraordinary being. They're discounting themselves to be a human being, that's all. So it is reflected upon like spiritual crazy madness for you guys.
No, but it's not for us guys. It's a tradition, a Hindu tradition, where they can test to see if someone's spiritually crazy or normally crazy.
I don't feel personally, with my own experience, I don't see it at a test. I see it as a blooming factor. From the regular madness, you bloom into spiritual craziness. Nobody is born into spiritual craziness, let me tell you that. This is my understanding. I don't care who's going to fire at me, I don't care. Let it become flowers. But every single human being is born into regular madness, like you guys are calling it. We come through. They work it out just like anybody. And that particular birth, the Hindu practice, as you are telling me, and then suddenly Ramana Maharishi is born into this spiritual madness. How is it? But before that, how many evolution, even before he hold a body, there must be some kind of a soul evolution chart that has been happening there. High, medium, low, all the triangle is worked out before they come and descend down that way.
Okay, I want to know what the highest vision for the planet, collectively, our consciousness, where you see the future and the highest spiritual vision for all of us together.
It is not a vision, it is something that is just there and nobody is picking that beautiful chocolate within them and eating it. It's so simple as not, like I said, everybody today that I shared in the program, in the workshop, they are asking me, is it this practice or that practice? As simple as where's the key, here's the key, ha 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 ha. As simple as Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Moving the breath, not even chanting, not doing anything, simply not doing anything. Summa Yire. Summa Yire means just do nothing. It's so difficult for everyone to just do nothing. I'm telling you, don't flame, do nothing, just sit. Will you listen? No. I'm telling you, don't talk. He's telling me, Amma, stop talking, you talk the whole day. Will I listen? No. Then we are telling, stop your mind. The mind keeps running. Is it under your control? Will you listen? Will you stop? No. So it's difficult in every level not to do anything. So you have to get to a point, do nothing, so everything happens. That's why there's a beautiful song, ancient song. Kayame idu poyyada verum kathadaitha vayyada. Kayame idu poyyada verum kathadaitha vayyada. Siva Siva Vasi Vasi Siva Siva Vasi Vasi. Vasi means the movement of breath. Kayame the Boyada means this is just a temporary thing. It's a lie. This is a living lie. It's just a vacuum filled with air. Vasi, 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 ancient tradition. The Hindu that you are talking about is the Vasi yoga, the science of breath, the yoga, not body bending postures alone.
What about for the planet?
Right, you're right.
You see anything for the planet itself, the human race?
First, the inner planet needs to be awakened and to see that inside you are the universe who created all of this, like what I shared with all of you all today. Na? You are the one who created everything is out there. And if you are worrying of what you put outside, can you start worrying about what you have inside? This is people worry about everything out there, 2012, this, that. I say, stop worrying about all these things. Start worrying and just observe a little. Huh? What is that, a beautiful quote? Do not wonder seeking God. Just observe a little. Look at my expression. Do not wonder. Do not wonder worrying about all these things. Just observe a little. Look at it. Observe a little is enough. Why is it so difficult? Because of all the regular madness that we are in, which allows to be bloomed into spiritual madness. So it is not a practice or something that is followed. I don't see it as a test thing or anything. I don't see it that way. I don't feel it that way inside of me. I feel that to become, first you need to be a regular mad fellow to understand the spiritual madness. So you bloom into the spiritual madness, what's wrong with that? It's the natural process. It's nature. So why use your mind and ego to say it's a test? Who are we to test ourselves? Did you know how you came through? Did you know which vessel you came into? How many BC births beyond you have taken a birth? I or you do not have question to all of them. Right now, can you tell me when is it going to end? It's like people telling, it's going to come, it's going to come, it's going to come, but it never came.
No, now new news is not going to come.
It's not going to come, it's not
Latest
going to come, but it's going to come to end. So which is which? Why all this fuss? Very easy. All you go. Who is he? Who is she? Who is he? Who am I? Keep searching only one, oh great divine one, oh my divine heart. Keep searching only one. What you bring in this place for you to take back? You can't even bring your breath, you can't even bring your body, you can't even bring the richness that you have, you can't even bring your youth, you can't even bring anything. So what is it that you're here for? What is it that you're really seeking? What is it that you're saving up for? What is it that you're rushing about and all the fuss about that you don't see? Just to observe a little, you never observe, but you're running around with the bagel and the coffee is such a busy lifestyle. Yeah? I'm picking up all the vibrations here. Yeah? You run, in the end you go 6 feet under. So what have you achieved? You cannot even take your achievements and your failures with you. So simply just sit and do nothing. That doesn't mean you become lazy. When you simply sit and do nothing and you observe a little, observe, acknowledge, surrender, and we start to observe a little, great things start to happen. You start to listen the greater voice within you, and everything gets done effortlessly. Work smart rather than work hard, as you all call it in your language.
But you actually said yesterday that that the new yuga would bring things that we can't even imagine.
Yeah. talk
Within
about
you.
What can't we imagine?
I'm talking about everything that's internalized.
Within, not externally.
Externally. You
Yeah.
see, each time, this is the problem. I'm coming from a place of an inner journey, where I try to bring you guys inward, and then all the questions are asked based on the external side, where I'm purposely only answering from the inward. Because all this is going to go anyway. But if you're inner yoga, the gifts of the inner first golden age is the 24 feet that you can be, the pleasures are 12 folds, your sins are 2 folds, your depression level is 2 folds. Whereas right now when you want to sit in the physical self in the Kali Yuga stage, you're experiencing all magnified 50-fold. Whatever you call it, all is magnified this way. That's why I say, normal cake with a pineapple upside down cake is much more nicer.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm speaking in Tamil a bit, I don't care. What I'm trying to say is, from compared to a normal cake, the pineapple upside down cake is tasting more better. Upside down is always better.
So, in terms of your process, were you always spiritually mad, or were you in normal madness and then progressed into spiritual madness?
I will very safely say from normal madness to spiritual madness. I am not a special gifted child in that. And I feel everybody goes through that. It's just that behind the doors nobody sees it. I don't want to talk about others. Myself, I was not behind the doors. I was always in front, transparent. I was naked. That's nudity, right? And as it is, I am like that. But you know what? People always associate my nirvana stage with nudity as in the physical term. That's not what I'm talking about. When you are so transparent and nude and you are transcendent, people can see through you. There's no fear. There's nothing. What's there to be fearing? Even you don't hold the baggage of fear or anything. All the backlog, if I say this and I have to be subjective to this. I just be myself. Lesser weight, lesser problem. So I observe, acknowledge, surrender.
That's great.
Imperfection within perfection, perfection within imperfection.
Does Babaji have anything else to tell us?
Saravana. Saravana says, transcend the Maya, na, ma, si, va, ya. All these 5 are just sound vowels or the energy movement within your breath. Na, siva, ma, ya. You transcend Maya and then Ya, Ma, God of death, and you become Shiva. You have no issues or problems. Whichever way.
Tathastu.
Tathastu, and you go. Sit and do anything. Om Zivaya Namaya Nama Ziva Vaya Namazi Maya Namazi Nama Shivaya Om. This is the sound of breath that moves within in that manner. In all level, the grid gets worked out, you break the code, you gain. In fact, this is the beauty that he's telling now. From regular madness to spiritual madness, you bloom into spiritual madness and you dissipate into nothingness when you break this code.
Nice. Swami, do you have anything to add?
What to add?
Whatever I'm talking about, he's directly displaying that, simply nothing. He's not doing anything.
I do very well of just sitting down doing nothing.
Exactly.
Like what she said, but I'm not lazy.
See,
But
no, listen to me. What he's doing is, he's not doing anything. But he's so powerful that I'm soaking up all this information and delivering it to you, the noisy one.
I'm like the SpongeBob.
So he's transmitting,
Sponge.
Saravana, he's transmitting every question of yours in a very silent, effortless way. He doesn't have to lose his energy so much, doesn't have to do dance around so much. But the Shakti, Shiva sits nothing, na? And the Shakti transmits dance around him. This is the display and this is the reality. If this balance is brought, this is the vision that needs to happen everywhere.
So be that.
Yes, tatastu, let it be.